Welcome to Wager Talk today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. NFL preseason week 2 is here. Dan will go over some of that and all that much more. Got a loaded Thursday show like usual.
I mean, let's be real. From this point out, Andy, every show is going to be absolutely loaded. And Thursday, no exception. Don't worry, you Greek fans out there. Gianni the Greek is back. So I know our man Blockbeat is going to be hype about that. We're going to talk about what's happening in the marketplace. We got Joe Raineri stopping by. He's got 2 baseball winners for you. And we'll talk 49ers and Chargers with him. Andrew McInnis got some winners for you in the CFL. But Andy, I missed you yesterday, buddy. We had to record the group of 6, I guess it's called now. So the lesser conferences in college football. So nothing gets you going like hearing some MAC action here on a Wednesday in August, but that's what we were doing yesterday. So Andy, let's get into it. We're a minute into the show. Wager Talk today. Play of the day. We're 49-38 on these free plays at the top of the show, Andy, and we're going to the diamond.
Yeah, yesterday's play we lost. We had the number 1 women's doubles team in the world that won the first set and were minus 4,000, and then they just gave up. Lose the second set, get blown out in the tiebreak. Number 1 team in the world that you're up 1-0 on a set. But we move on, and we're going to take an outs prop. Pretty surprised at this number. Grayson Rodriguez, who has not been that great recently. So we got the Angels at the Astros. We got Rodriguez and Lambert going. This under 15.5 out seems really ambitious here. He's gone under in 5 out of his last 6 games. 4 of those games, he only made it to 12 outs. And what's happening is he has high pitch counts, but batters are having extended at-bats, and he's giving up some hits, and he's giving up some runs, and he's just putting some wear and tear on that arm. He's given up 34 hits and 24 earned runs in the last 33.1 innings. So you can see it's just a lot of work to just try and get these outs. And these teams played yesterday. Yesterday's pitcher against Houston for the Angels only went 15 outs, but they only used 3 bullpen arms. And the game before, very limited bullpen arms as well. So this bullpen's healthy. It's ready to go. So I don't expect Grayson Rodriguez to get past the 5th inning. I think 15 outs is the mark. If this was 14.5, I'd probably lay off 15.5. I think we're looking at the under. So that's going to be today's play of the day.
I like it, Andy. Back-to-back games only going 4 innings. Don't see why that changes here for Grayson Rodriguez. We're going under the 15.5 outs. Andy, you've been keeping your eyes on any news going on? What do we got for news and notes here at the top of the show before we get to our man Gianni the Greek?
Yeah, we'll go over NFL. Listen, in the NBA, here's your classic consequence of the second apron, and this is the stuff where the owners fleeced the players. They put that second apron in to protect themselves. So they had to pay the players less. So what happens is Denver's got to get under the second apron. So they ship out Peyton Watson. They gave the contract extension to Christian Braun. And what do they get back in return? Next to nothing. This is a massive downgrade for them. And it is all because of this salary cap at the second apron. So Denver, that is a big loss for them. Listen, they have Jokic. I'm pretty close to ruling them out of championship contention in the West. I think their window is closed. Bad contracts, too much money going to players that are underperforming or just injury suffering. But look no further than the Peyton Watson trade to show the damaging effects to teams of the second apron. Vita Vea gets a 1-year extension this year for the Bucks. That's massive for their run defense. Tyler Warren for the Colts tweaks his groin. Does not appear to be that big of a deal. Just kind of one of those, there's a little tightness. Just go sit down, Tyler. Higgins out for the year for the Texans, and their third string quarterback is out for the year. So Texans are absorbing some blows. And then this is my favorite one, Dan, your Eagles. Eagles report. You tell it. It's too good.
So it's anyone who lives in the Philadelphia area knows it's a cesspool. Just for fandom wise and mainly for the media. I mean, it is tough, man. So the most popular station is WIP, and they post a daily poll. And their poll today, Andy, is Eagles are in joint practices with the Patriots. Is today's joint practice against the Patriots a must win? What are we doing? No one has ever been more true than Alec Boehm when he said, I fucking hate this place. Because what are we doing? A must-win practice, Andy. And a must-win practice against A.J. Brown, Drake May, and the Patriots, who they don't even play this year. Insane.
Hey, sometimes you got to set the tone with a good practice.
It's a must-win. A must-win.
NFL is so back. NFL is like so back.
The reporters are like so dialed in. Like John Clark, who's a big-time reporter in Philly, he had a whole entire thing about how Reek Woolen picked off Drake May, and then he ran to the end zone and did snow angels in the end zone. It's like the fever that people need football back is unreal, especially in Philadelphia, because they got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Like Eagles fans have nothing else to do other than freak out about the fact that Jalen Hurts has thrown 5 interceptions in practice over the last 3 days.
There's a very curious line in WNBA here before we get to Gianni. Fever only -2.5 against the Dallas Wings. This is a Dallas Wings team that is absolutely reeling. They've lost 2 in a row. The Fever just beat them 98-87. I'm not really sure where this line comes from. I see Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark are questionable. Or not, they're not questionable. They're listed as game time decision, but both are probable. I don't know. Feels like a trap line or one of those where, geez, why didn't we play this? The Dream -8.5 against the Sparks has my attention. And we got a pretty light card in MLB. Not a whole lot that jumped off the page for me. So if you guys got anything in the chat, strong opinions for MLB, I'm all open for that. So, all right, well, let's bring in Gianni here. And we got to talk. It's preseason. We got a few games tonight here, Gianni. We got news. Let's start with preseason. What are we seeing so far?
Yeah, it's really, really busy. Like I have today for you, Major League Baseball, NFL preseason, college football, CFL, like there's everything. The only thing I really don't have is WNBA. And speaking of that Indiana-Dallas game real quickly, that got bet up to 4.5. And that's when you started seeing Dallas take back. Like they bet the Indiana side at -2.5, -3. Books adjusted it up to keep the piggybackers off of it. But at 4.5, that's when you started seeing some take back on the Dallas side. So rest assured, Indiana seems like the sharp side, but it just got, up to that 4.5 road team. And I think you saw a little bit of take back. I wouldn't really worry about that all that much. Now, tonight's NFL, different story. Haven't seen much as far as line movement goes for either of these games. You see, it opened at a pick 'em, more or less, 1-point favorite. It's still sitting around there. Now, it flip-flopped between each team being a 1-point favorite kind of in both games. And it's more or less let the market decide. For the books, this is a great scenario. Like the only risk they have is if the game lands 1. Otherwise they're sitting pretty because they're getting good two-way balanced action. Now, that's going to change once the public starts getting involved. They haven't bet yet. It's early in the day, but rest assured, the Vegas-Houston game and the San Fran Chargers game is going to attract most of the betting action today. It's going to be all of baseball, all WNBA, all of that combined. But what they're going to use baseball for is parlaying into those NFL preseason games. So pay attention to the Houstons and the Tampa Bays. Those will be those heavy money line favorites that they use from baseball. In NFL, here's what I expect, because I already see from the back end the public money starting to trickle in. Raiders, Texans, they're betting the Raiders, a little heavier on the Raiders in that game. And in the 49ers, Chargers, a little heavier on the Chargers. Neither game sticks out, as in like the books need this side, they're heavy that side. When you're laying, 11 to win 10, they have that 4.5% to their favor. They don't have to balance the money equally to, not have risk. And that's where they sit now. But like I said, I think that's going to change. I wouldn't be surprised to see more Raider money. There is some excitement there. Number 1 draft pick, that kind of stuff. And more importantly, what sticks out is the totals. Both unders are getting public money. Both unders. Now, the initial move from the sharp bettors was the over in Vegas, Houston. They bet that all the way up to 40.5. So the initial move was like a half point down to 37.5, and then they steamed it up over 24 hours as high as 40.5. And that's when you started seeing dropping back down. But every time it dipped below that 39, they went over. So anywhere it's around 37, 37 and a half, 38, they're looking to go over that number. That's why you're looking at 39s, 38 and a half. So definitely the sharps disagree with the public there. In the second game, San Francisco and the Chargers, same situation where you're getting sharp money and public money, though, on the under. So the sharps went under at 39. That dropped it down only a half a point to like 38 and a half. And I didn't see much follow through. But since then, we've been seeing more public money coming in and, semi-sharp. And that's why that's sitting around that 37 and a half, 38. So again, a little more under money right now, risk on the books, and a little more on Vegas and the Chargers, but nothing really sticking out for primetime standalone games. Not yet, like where you're like, all the publics on Team A. That's just not the case in these matchups tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out.
Yeah, I've checked several places, and there's some teams that are going to be playing their starters a little bit more. I think San Francisco said they were going to play him a little bit more, and I believe the Chargers said they were going to play him a little bit less. But to me, it's really not about the starters. What's going to happen in the second half? What's your second? Are you playing second stringers or third stringers? Like, what quarterback is going to be playing? So I don't know. I think when line moves, when it's like, oh, they said their starter is going to play a series. It's like, well, what about the rest of the 90% of the game? So I'll start researching tomorrow's games a little bit later. What are we seeing in MLB? A little bit limited slate.
Yeah, and most of the stuff came overnight. I'll let you know what we got follow through in. Now, start off with the early game. St. Louis, Cincinnati, 9:52. They went over 9, but you're seeing 8.5 because they came back another group and went under 9 this morning. I like the over myself with the early group. Haven't released the subscribers, but that was my lean in the Steam sheet. 9:53 Toronto. Plus 155, 150. That was overnight. 9:53 under in Toronto and Tampa Bay. They went under 8 overnight, came back and went under 7.5 this morning. So strong move there. That's why we're looking at 7s. Athletics in Kansas City, they went under the 8.5 this morning. Yankees and that's Cleveland. Sorry. 962 Cleveland. They laid the chalk there, 180, 185, and 190. And then overnight, San Francisco and Cleveland, they went under 7.5. Not much action in baseball. No surprise. Football is front and center right now. Most of the sharp money, again, they're betting those numbers. They're getting ahead on overnights. And then once the lineups come in later, you'll probably see some moves late afternoon. But I don't think the market will be affected with much public money at all. Like, again, they're probably going to use Tampa Bay. They're probably going to use Houston, those heavy favorites, in parlays. Cleveland, add them to their football parlays. But there won't be enough like straight action risk where public money is going to affect these lines. So what that tells you is look at the odds logic line, pay attention to the openers and whether games got hit overnight. Then look through today, but more importantly, that final 2 hours, that last 120 minutes before first pitch, those moves are legit. There's no time to back out and manipulate and scalp and middle, do all that fun stuff. Those are legit. And without the public getting involved in baseball, you could confirm it's sharp. Now, again, how you use that information is up to you. But at least you know with more certainty what the line move means on a day like this with Major League Baseball.
We'll do WNBA and then we can talk UFC, a difficult UFC card. I think there's only just a couple spots, but let's talk WNBA. Are you seeing much action on this Fever game? I don't get the -2.5 line.
No. Just what I told you earlier, how it got bet up. And then we saw the Indiana action. Atlanta obviously got money at the opener of -8. That'll probably be the public side. WNBA don't get much public money, but the only bets I do see in the back end are 100% Atlanta. And only the -8 was a sharp account at $500. So all the rest is public on Atlanta and Vegas. I see 100% of the bets on Atlanta, 100% of the bets on Las Vegas, but very limited. And then Indiana, Dallas is split, which again, you expect because you see that line move, how it's been adjusted. So yeah, public money on the favorites, no surprise. And no surprise, the Sharps got out ahead by laying the early number in the Atlanta game. And I didn't see anything in Vegas, Connecticut game. Just saw like it got up to like 15, but I didn't see Vegas get bet into the accounts, but obviously someone bet it. I don't have access to everything, but they laid 13.5 and 14. That pushed it up to 15. And then you saw the take back on Connecticut plus 15. Personally, I don't have an opinion, but what I can tell you is recreational bettors are on the favorites on those two games.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move to UFC. Weird card. I love the main event. I love the matchmaking. So I guess we'll just go down. It's just there's so many favorites. The books are just like, we're sick of getting hit with these parlays. We're not giving you minus 300. This fighter's minus 500 this week. So I found it a little bit difficult. What lines are you looking at?
I haven't released yet. You nailed it. UFC play. I'm running really, really hot. I know I'm in top 3 right now for 2026 and definitely number 1 since mid-May. Coming off a nice winning card the other day with some nice plus money dogs. I even had Stolfus plus 525 sent to subscribers because they just got out of hand with the lines. Again, I didn't expect Stolfus to win. I didn't expect the other plus 300 to win, but I knew it shouldn't have been plus 300. I knew it shouldn't have been plus 500. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Now, we did see 4 dogs finally get the money last week. And what did I talk about going into last week? That's exactly how markets regress. It doesn't happen overnight. It almost is like but with the naked eye, you almost don't see it. You have to zoom out to see it, because what happens is exactly that. Instead of 10 favorites and 2 dogs, you're going to start getting 8 favorites and 4 dogs, 9 favorites and 5 dogs. It's going to break down like that. We're not going to get cards where 12 dogs, 2 favorites, 13 dogs, 1 favorite. That's never going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying never. It may happen, but historically we know 65% of the time the favorite wins in MMA. And that's still really good odds for the underdog. So again, lines are still juiced. They haven't solved that problem yet. But we did see a little bit of the chink in the armor. When you juice them up way too high, what happens? And that's what we're looking at so far this week. But the difference is the lines didn't all move in the same direction, meaning for the last 2 or 3 weeks, every opener except maybe one fight moved towards the favorite. Every single one. It opened minus 120, went to 40, 50, 60. Opened 300, went to 400. Now you're seeing a little bit of dog action. Here's what stuck out to me in the main event. I was surprised that it's one-sided, meaning I know Fluffy gets love, but I didn't think it would be as one-sided as so far it's looking. Like I get an idea from the parlays that come in earlier in the week, and I already seeing that Fluffy's on a lot of parlays, mixed parlays, different sport parlays. The same thing with Petrino. Like they're sticking out a lot. Petrino and Fluffy are probably the 2 most bet that I'm seeing right now. And what sticks out to me with the Petrino line, the market doesn't reflect that. It opened 170. We're looking at minus 145 now. And it's been nothing but Petrino money from the public. So definitely sharps do like the Spivak side. Not surprised. Spivak's one of those guys that just doesn't get love from the betting public because he's just the polar bear, just nothing really exciting, for whatever reason. So I wasn't surprised there, but I am a little bit surprised how that Rodriguez is being faded so easily. I mean, I get it. He's older and all, but this is a guy who's now won 6 of his last 7. He's coming in, he's a finisher. And when you got finishers like a closer like that, there's a lot of variance to finish the way that the fight's going to end. And the same thing with Fluffy. Finisher. You got 2 closers in there. There's a lot of variance. I don't know how comfortable I'd be laying, 2-1 on Hernandez. That sticks out to me. I have like 4 or 5 strong leans right now, but there's no reason to rush because 3 of them are dogs. And like I said, the trend right now is that the favorites are going to be getting the money. So kind of like last week where the favorites, I did give them out early in the week. But the dogs, I waited till Saturday and released those and ended up doing well. So that's what sticks out to me so far this week. And again, remember, we're coming off a numbered event, so it's not going to get the eyeballs or the volume that otherwise it will a card would, or like what we saw last week.
Okay. I mean, I'll just go through Chanel Dyer at -850. Knock yourself out. No chance that's getting any of my money. Schultz and McVay. It's just a terrible fight. Dog or nothing in that one. I actually like the underdog against Gage Young. I like that Dorsonville. I like him a lot. He's only 5-0, but he's a really tough, powerful guy. Barbosa probably by first round KO. Padilla is an underdog. I always like Padilla. I feel like he's undervalued. Kennedy and Gaziev, no thanks. Emmers and Douglas, love Douglas. Anthony Wynn against. You know what? Let me throw this out there. Be careful about taking Anthony Wynn KO first round out there, everybody. Like this guy that he's fighting, he's bad, but he's not that bad, and he's bigger than Anthony Wynn. So like we all made a lot of money on Anthony Wynn on Contender Series. I've just pumped the brakes on that one. We love Carly Judice. She should roll. Kind of like the over in the Mason Jones, Medeiros. DeRitter, I like over Delidze. Petrino, I kind of agree with. I'm on Rodriguez. I'll just tell you right now, I got Rodriguez by early KO. Fluffy can't take a shot to the body. And I'm telling you, Gianni, when these wrestlers stop wrestling, it means either somebody got in their ear and told them you're not going to win a title with this wrestling, or B, their body can't do it anymore. The fact that he didn't even try to wrestle against Sean Strickland, and then he went and trains with Sean Strickland now.
Yeah.
If he doesn't wrestle, I think Rodriguez knocks him out. So those are my thoughts on that. So, all right, Yanni, it's our favorite time of the week. Dan,
Hammer.
it's when I said favorite time of the week, everybody was like, hammer time.
Yeah, baby.
All right. This one comes to us from Austin 100 on X here. He's got a pretty big parlay here that we're looking at. A lot of baseball money line parlays. You know, these go over really, really well. So he's got the Cardinals, the Guardians, the Brewers, the Rangers, and the Astros. You're parlaying all of that together for a 13-1. Listen, if you can't find value in a 5-team money leg in MLB, where can you find value? Am I right, Yanni?
You can't lose. You can't lose.
Well, so let's pick one that will count towards the record. Yeah. So should we go with? So there's Cardinals, Guardians. I would nominate Brewers or Cardinals for one that counts.
Yeah, it has to be one that's actually bettable. So like Brewers -124, Cardinals -108. I say we go Brewers. What do you think?
Yanni, you on board with Brewers?
Yeah, go Brewers. Go Brewers. I got a future in Milwaukee. I'll be cheering them in.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, but now here's the best part, Yanni. Here's the profile picture of Austin 100. It's a child.
He's just young for his grade. Andy.
My man. Starting early. We should get her to sell the picks.
Look at this picture. He's sitting in the passenger seat. I don't think he might not be old enough to drive.
He doesn't have his license yet, Andy.
He needs to get the girl to do the pick selling. Yeah.
So
I forgot to grab a hat this morning.
Thank you to Austin 100. Austin 100, you are now unknowingly in the
star
of
the
Thursday Hammer Club. So shout out to the Parlay Goddess and everyone else that's been there. So Yanni, what do you have? I am his mom. I don't think that's his mom.
Girl, no.
Maybe sister
right now.
Babysitter?
I'm loaded, dude, for Bear. Subscribers already got, and it's already up there. Week 1 NFL, I gave out 3 premiums already with a 5%. Those lines are not going to stay up there. I even gave a teaser out, a 4% teaser for Week 1 NFL, because we're going to wang the shit out of them in 2026. I told you, no more 10, 15 games. We're just going to big game hunting. That's what you want. That's what you're going to get. Just snipering. And that package is up. I have week 1 college football, week 1 for next Saturday, and that following week 1. So for August 29th and September 5th, already bets are out in college football. And I have the steam sheet out today with a 4% in Major League Baseball, where I think we're like 77% on the last 34 or 35 steam sheet plays. We're running really well. And on there today, you're going to get Major League Baseball, NFL preseason, all the NFL preseason, college football for week 1's on there, CFL's on there. So a lot of good information. Head on over to WagerTalk.com, Gianni the Greek, and more importantly, jump on long-term. We're going to do better than we did last NFL season in college football. We didn't get lucky. I think this year I'm going to have a little good luck sprinkled our way, which will really put us over the top. I had to claw my way to get to 100+ units last year. I think it's going to be easier already looking easier with a 4-1 preseason. So best of luck to everyone this weekend. Do some fucking damage. Join me in the steam room Saturday, and we'll go over a lot of NFL and college football information.
All right. Austin 100 isn't even old as jackpot in the dog years. It may not be. All right. Thank you, Yanni. Appreciate it.
God, I look forward to it every single week. The Thursday Hammer.
I do too.
I messaged you on the side. I'm always the research you put into the Thursday Hammer. It brings me much joy, Andy.
Yeah. And RJ says the hammer time is hotter than the play of the day. Just kidding. You're actually not kidding.
No, you're not.
We'll tell you when we lose and when we win. Yeah, I don't think we've lost a Thursday hammer. It was unfair when we put the big parlay in, but now once we narrow the legs down,
we make fun of the big parlay and then we choose one of their legs. That's what the Thursday hammer has become.
So Brewers is it. So I've been watching golf all morning. This course is playing really hard. A couple guys are under par, but there's a lot of guys over par. So be careful if you're taking round score bets. 4% NFL preseason bet is up for us. Weird record for us in the preseason, 1-0-2. So happy to take profits off of week 1, but we got a strong best bet. And we do have a 5% best bet in UFC, 5 straight winners on those, 12-2 UFC runs. So pretty happy with those. Yeah, I'm loving the preseason bet that we have. That goes off tonight. So if you guys want to grab that one, do that. Or 3-day pass, it gets you NFL preseason and it gets you our 5%. And a little birdie told me there's going to be a cricket play that goes up tonight. So yeah, we may have a little cricket in our nighttime future. So all right. Let's bring in Joe Raineri, and we got to get our fix for MLB. Hello. How are you?
Morning, guys. What's happening here?
Not
More
much.
hammers?
You don't want a 12-1 parlay, Joe? Can I interest you in parlaying money line favorites in baseball? Come on.
I think that is fantastic. I think he just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Darwinism at its best, guys.
Well, he's young.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of
Yes.
time to do it. You know.
Yes.
So,
What's amazing about researching these, it's pretty obvious a lot of these accounts are just run by the same group or the same individual. Because I had the parlay goddess last week. Well, I found the prop goddess this week. And let's just say they look kind of similar. There was a lot of similar ad copy and AI in the graphics.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all the same 4 people. And it all leads back to the same.
Exactly. It all leads back to one dude sweating in his room with like 12 computers. Is really who it leads back to, Joe. Let's be real. All right. Let's actually cleanse the palate. We'll talk your 2 baseball games after. Let's talk some NFL preseason football. Cleanse the palate here after the parlay god and goddess talk and our Evan 100. But Joe, this game should be interesting, at least for a couple series. Both teams have come out and said, hey, we're likely playing our starters. How deep they play, it sounds like the Niners probably going to go a little bit deeper. And that's why we've seen some kind of split action on this one, Joe. We're seeing as high as 1.5 for San Francisco. We're seeing as low as pick'em. This total pretty much is settling in at 38.5, though. What do you think about the news of these starters playing? How are you looking to bet this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, it flipped the minute that we figured out Purdy is likely going to see a couple of snaps. But either which way, you're not going to see them for very long in this game here. I mean, Trey Lance is likely going to get a bulk of the snaps in this one for Shanahan. And, if we do see Herbert, I think they said 1 or 2 series at tops that we might see, which is good because none of them played last week. So you get Herbert in there for a drive or two, and then that's the end of that. So I do think, though, that the second half in both these games here tonight, but especially this one, that is really where you're going to see some separation because what do you got? Curtis Rourke coming in after that. So the quarterback battle, certainly for the Chargers in the second half, I would feel a lot better about than what they're going to be rolling out. Adrian Martinez, Curtis Rourke. Mac Jones might actually get some playing time after Brock Purdy leaves this game. So, 49ers early, Chargers late is the way that I would look at it. But the Chargers keep losing offensive linemen. Like they're going at it, like they got them growing on trees or something back at camp. So, center out. It's 2 years in a row. They can't keep any of their offensive linemen healthy. We haven't even played a game, and already I feel terrible for Justin Herbert because if you can't run the ball and you can't protect Herbert, it's going to be another one of those seasons. So if I'm the Chargers and I'm Harbaugh, I am just hoping to get out of this game in one piece and let's move on. Get a couple of reps, couple of snaps. Don't lose any more offensive linemen. It's out of control right now between both these teams, by the way, over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and Curtis Rourke maybe coming in with that rib injury. So how much action does he really see? That probably has some of these other quarterbacks going a little bit deeper as well, Joe, as they're just everyone's trying to avoid the injury bug. I mean, you see all of these injuries stacking up here in preseason, and we still got a week of it to go. Mm-hmm. So the thought process there. Joe, let's talk a little MLB before that. What do you got locked and loaded over at your page, wt.buzz/JR? A lot of good deals folks can take advantage of. What are they going to find over at your page?
Yeah, I think we've won 4 or 5 so far this week here. We've got another one coming up, bit of a contrarian play today over at my page at WagerTalk.com. We had a barking dog last night in Washington getting it done for us. Tonight we've got this is one of those where the public is likely running left and I am running right here. So that's a fun one coming up. A lot of day baseball, and I think we saw the last of Paul Skeens finally yesterday. So I believe that announcement will be coming sooner rather than later. Can you say shutdown? Because it's coming.
Yeah, longtime fans of the channel will know when Joe is talking contrarian, you want to listen. The contrarian gods, anyone? Just ask Rob Vino about the contrarian gods. Contrarian best bet over at Joe's page right now, wt.buzz/JR. All right, Joe, Nats and Rangers. So it was a blowout in game 1. It was 5-0 for the Rangers. Then game 2, 6-0 for the Nationals. So I guess it's just who gets blown out today, Joe. Nats Rangers. How are you betting this one?
Yeah, it's just, you're going to see DeGrom on the mound, right? So for the Rangers and Alvarez for Washington here. And listen, this Texas Rangers offense is laughably bad. Laughably bad. And they have been really bad ever since the All-Star break. And now they're going to get a lefty who, provided he doesn't walk 19 guys in this game, has actually had a couple of pretty decent starts over the last few weeks. The problem for me is DeGrom. DeGrom, look at his last 5 or 6 starts. He has been atrocious. There's something going on with the arm, as an injury or a lat problem, and it shows. I mean, he has not been good. He's been getting hit. He's getting really hit hard, in fact. Now, he's been better at home than on the road this year, but I don't think he makes it to 5 innings. I don't think he's made it to 5 innings in the last 4 or 5 starts here. So nothing tells me that this is going to be a vintage DeGrom game by any stretch. Plus, the Rangers have not hit lefties well at all. Washington, despite trading away everyone and then putting Woods on the IL there, they're still hitting the ball. You saw it again last night. Call me crazy. Both bullpens are a hot mess, but the Nats have been better as of late. So, yeah, if it ain't broke, and it's broke with DeGrom and the Rangers, I'll be looking at the Nats in this one again here tonight.
Ooh, a little plus money action there from Joe Raineri. All right, Joe, what the figuring out who's going to win the AL West, quite the interesting task. I mean, it's just who's going to back their way into winning this. Right now, the Astros enter at least Thursday with a narrow lead. They're back over 500. Who knows how long that'll last? They're minus 175 against the Angels here today. Joe, how are you betting this one?
Yeah, this is also just a hedge. These two offenses are really bad. Well, every offense in the West is terrible. Seattle, Houston, the Angels, Texas, all awful. Can't hit their weight. And you're going to have another series. What was it, 3-2 last night? We've seen the bullpens empty up, but the Angels feel like they're in a better spot here than the Astros do here. Lambert is going for the Astros. And now here's one of those situations where people are going to look at Great Rodriguez going tonight. He's got a 7 ERA, but don't be fooled. He's been better than that. And Houston right now can't hit anything. They are barely hitting. In fact, both these teams, terrible. There is no way at 8.5 am I looking at an over here. We've played, a total of 2 games in this series. What have we gotten for 5 yesterday? Less than that in game 1. I don't see a ton of offense coming here. I know maybe your instinct is, all right, well, take the Astros. I'm not laying $1.75 for a team that can't hit. And they can't hit. And they have the MVP on their damn team, and they still can't score any runs here. Plus, the bullpen is a little bit worked here as of late. Yeah, this is another one where I would look to fade the public here, and I would look at another dog here. I think the Angels, maybe even on the run line, might not be a bad play here tonight.
Man, you're all about the dogs here today. You're not joking. Contrarian, thy name is Raineri.
Except the Athletics. Don't bet the Athletics. They're awful. Yeah, that's a AAA ball club.
Okay,
they're terrible.
That's where we stop. Yeah,
we got to draw the line somewhere, and the Athletics is that.
Yeah, there had to be levels, and now we know where the red line is, Joe. Man, it's crazy to think about, Joe, that right around the corner, we're going to be talking week 0 in college football. Absolutely crazy. Where has the summer gone? But it is right around the corner, which means football season is right around the corner. As people are gearing up, checking out the channel here, checking out your page, what can folks expect from you here on this show, on the best betting show ever, the new show that you got with Ariel and Kelly? What can folks expect from you from a handicapping perspective as we head on towards the football season?
Well, it's quality over quantity, right? I mean, that's always what it's going to be. I mean, college football on Saturday can always get a lot of guys in trouble because it feels like there's a million games on, and, you lose your ass in the morning, so you're just going to double up on everything in the afternoon or the night game, No. You're always looking for edges, and there's only a handful of games every weekend, NFL and college football, that are actually worth the investment. So definitely not going to be a quantity. There's not going to be 10 to 15 plays in a weekend for me in any way, shape, or form. You're going to get the games that I feel have the best edge, that the numbers say they have the best edge, and those are what we're going to be firing on. So I'm not a huge 5% guy, but last year, both college and NFL, when I put out 5% plays, we were one of the top 2 or 3 most profitable guys with those plays. So I am all about it as a marathon and not a sprint, guys. You get when you see it, you fire on it, and that's it. You move on. But certainly won't be having 10 or 12 plays in a weekend in any shape or form here.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. RJ looking out for you, Joe. He's saying bless your heart. The the show with you and Kelly and Ariel I was watching yesterday. It's called On Tilt, guys. You can find it on their socials. We're actually we're working. We may be collab posting it here on our channel as well. So stay tuned. But Joe, best of luck with that. Keep the bourbon handy.
Yeah,
because you may need it after that.
I drew the short straw. It's apparent that I have to sit in the middle of those two lunatics.
Between that and Prez, man, what are you doing to yourself?
That's why I walk around with mace. Yes, but should be a lot of fun. But not as fun as your Hammer Time play tonight, because now I'm all over it, man. Just send me the other 18 teams that they put in that parlay, and I'll look to get it. I'll look to get it in for you guys.
That's Joe Raineri. At Joe Raineri is where you can find them. Always a pleasure, man. Yeah, the other 20 legs we'll send his way, Andy.
So I've done videos with Kelly and Ariel before, and I was sitting right in the middle, and one of my buddies texted me, and he was like, "This may be the first video that you've ever done where nobody is looking at you."
Yeah,
it was like fair. They were like, you could be wearing a coat hanger on your head, and nobody would be looking at you.
To be fair, eventually you did. You were the proctologist, and then you eventually did just come on dressed as a doctor, and it wasn't even a thing because they were just like, it was just like Kelly and Ariel. Not only, Andy, were they not looking at you. I mean, getting a word in edgewise is tough. I mean, that's why Joe is like the only one that could anchor the middle of that show. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
Joe, in case you're wondering, there's your other what is that? 5 legs. We're on the Brewers for the Thursday Hammer, but if you want to make it 12-1. That's what our expert Evan 100 was dropped.
Yeah, like Andy, what's your favorite prop? Oh, I like Brock Purdy over 1.5 touchdowns. You see when yeah, I love that one too. Yes, I'm all over that one as well. He's like, I'm just kidding.
I wish you were kidding. I wish you were kidding.
Shout out to Ariel and Kelly. They both know I love them. All right, let's bring in Andrew. Andrew, I think Kelly and Ariel may have won more CFL games than the Redblacks this year.
Yeah.
Listen,
but you know what's going to happen though. The second we stop taking them, they're going to win or cover. They're going to if I don't take them this week, and I'll just put it out there right now, I'm not. But they're going to cover.
Not either.
How you guys doing?
Oh man. We're doing great. It's a really nice Thursday here. We got a good Hammer Time. We got a good play of the day, and we're just rooting on our poor Redblacks. Does not get easy for them tonight. No. They get the 8-1 Alouettes. They are almost 2 touchdown underdogs. 2 touchdowns is insane in CFL, and yet I'm not taking the Redblacks. Not on the money line, not on the spread. What do you do with this game?
Yeah, and I had a couple writers reach out to me and ask, like, hey, Andrew, like, is this close to one of the biggest spreads we've seen? Like, what's one of the biggest spreads we've seen? I asked a few people I trust, and we're like, oh, no, like, we've seen 15, 16, 17 in this league, and it's a 9-team league. Like, how are we approaching numbers like this? It's just sad to see. And every single week, they're cutting guys that are veteran players. They're firing a different coaching position that I've never even heard of before. They're doing everything but get rid of the head coach and the quarterback. And one might argue those are the 2 most important people on any said team. Look, guys, if you want to talk about just trends in general before we dive into anything, 13-0 straight up, 11-2 ATS. That's the run for Montreal against this Ottawa team. Oh, yeah, not to mention Winnipeg off a bye last week against Ottawa. How about this week? Oh, yeah, the best team in the league power rating-wise off a bye at home against the Ottawa Redblacks. So nothing gets easy for this team. So it would be, if I'm playing, I'm laying and taking the favorite here in this one. But I also think this could be a spot to take the over. Look, Montreal's defense isn't the same defense of the past. They just have an offense that can't be messed with. This offense can get them out of any trouble they ever find themselves in, and never really have to worry if their defense slips up even slightly. When I look at this game, there could be that potential of a backdoor cover. As I mentioned, if I'm playing it, the favorite's the way I want to go, but over 61.5, if you can get a 60.5, because it is trending downward, I think this game could see some points. Ottawa's going to know they have to air it out, And we have seen, for some reason, Jake Mayer has had some success against this Montreal Alouettes team. And now there has been a couple guys that have found success. I'm going to mention a few player props here, guys. Tyson Philpott and Tyler Snead. These two players play on the same team, and they are both over 200 yards higher at least than any other player on the season so far in the league. So it's tough to make money on them because Philpott's numbers at 100.5, Snead's numbers at 89.5. I'm going to take the lower one at 89.5. I think Philpott can still have a great game. And if he doesn't flirt with over 100, then you kind of get screwed. I'll take Snead over 89.5. Another player prop. Last week, we gave you guys one that opened up at 59. I gave it out live on the show, 67. The guy got over 110 rushing yards. So say that went pretty well. We're going to go Cade McDonald over 40.5 receiving yards. Look, they're going to be passing the ball all game long, Ottawa, so I feel like this is a player to have your eye on. I almost feel like this is one of those games, guys, where you actually would prefer to be on player props and not worry as much about any point spread at all.
I'm assuming that rushing yards is because they're kind of up at the end. Like I would guess that, I mean, they're a run-heavy attacking team, but I would assume a lot of those yards kind of coming late for a team that's 8-1. So Ski says, Redblacks is an interesting name. Get your head out of the gutter. Andrew and I have talked about this. It really is referring to the color scheme of the old Ottawa Rough Riders, isn't it? Like, it's literally a reference to a color scheme of a 1800s or early 1900s team.
Not as bad of a name as you can get.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing, Andy or Andrew. Maybe they just need to change their team name and then they'll win a game. Maybe maybe come up with an alternate mascot.
Well, they were saying the same thing about the Elks, actually, Dan. They were saying that about the Elks because they used to be named the Eskimos. Similar to, the Cleveland now Guardians and some of these teams. So the fans were saying, we're just cursed because of the name change. They weren't even blaming the football players, and now they're actually a good team. So that's out of the picture. But yeah, guys, I mean, 13-0 straight up run and an 11-2 ATS run for this team against Ottawa. It doesn't get any tougher. And the schedule makers, like, you already know Ottawa's going to suck. You give them Winnipeg and Montreal off a bye. Like, that's just absolutely brutal.
Minus 800 might not be the worst. You don't want to give out minus 800 parlay legs, but money line on Alouettes is not the worst.
Thursday hammer?
They're not losing. They're not losing.
All right, let's go to the Elks, who are 7-3. Interesting here. So they've outscored their opponents 301 to 260. The Bombers are 5-4. They've actually been outscored this season, and I'm seeing the Elks minus 4.5 over under 59.5 on DraftKings right now. What are we doing with this game?
Yeah, this number opened up 5.5, was slowly pushing its way to 4.5, and we always know these 5.5 numbers are always going to be pushed one way or the other. The 5.5 number is kind of like the books telling you, hey, you push it whichever way you want it to go. Push it to 4.5, push it to 6.5. And of course, the jury made their decision. When I look at this game here, guys, this Elks team, we just shit on the Redblacks for the first, couple minutes of my segment here. This Elks team has only covered a spread this big 3 times this season. Twice against the Redblacks and once last week. And last week they caused 5 turnovers. So what's interesting about this Elks team is they have improved. They have been better. They are in the upper echelon of the CFL, but they're not beating anybody by a ton of points, guys. We can all list teams we remember throughout NFL, college, any sport that got on a winning streak but just won the close one. If I'm wrong here, guys, didn't the Chiefs have like an unbelievable record in games decided by 3 points like 2 years ago? That's kind of the Elks right now. And I hate to even put those two teams in the same breath. I'm taking the dog in this one. I never thought I would come into this season and find myself saying the Elks are overvalued repeatedly, time and time again. And that's led me to success this season in the CFL, up 28 units on the year. We're taking the dog. Look, you're not getting 5.5. It's fine. The 4.5 is okay with me. Look, Zach Caleros is back and healthy. I believe Oliveira is a game-time decision, but they do have running back depth. Right now, the offensive line is performing very well. They're helping to protect Zach Caleros. He can't take any more hits, but if he stays healthy, this quarterback is way different than the backup Drew Brown had, and this defense can make plays. 2 pass rushers for them are tied for the lead in sacks in the entire league. So, guys, give me the dog in this one. The Elks are good. They're improved, but I'm not laying a number with them like this. It is truly, Andy, they've only beat teams by a handful of points 3 times. And do we just not even count wins against the Redblacks as far as our handicapping is concerned? Because that's how I feel about this.
It's tough, but everyone plays the Redblacks, so I feel like you kind of have to take it into consideration. Like the Alouettes have played them multiple times, so you do have to take it into account because everybody does play them. So just grain of salt, I guess. But if I'm looking at individual games, I would not look. I would look more at the the higher level of competition. But when you're looking at overall season stats, I would say you got to take them into account. So, what do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk here, Andrew?
Yeah, 5% going this weekend in the CFL. We told you guys we had a couple tough weekends in the CFL in a row after it was a fantastic start. Bounced back in a big way. We had an underdog last week for a big play, won that one outright, gave out the rushing prop here on the show. It was a 4% prop, and I'm never going to do that again probably, but it was that much of one that I liked. So 28 units here on the year, guys. You can grab my 5% this weekend in the CFL. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day pass. But most importantly, if you guys want to get involved, I mentioned this last week. A few of you guys have hopped on board this week. CFL plus NHL. I'm not going to hide it. My 2 specialties. These are the 2 sports that I handicap the best. CFL, NHL into one package at my page, wt.buzz/AM. You go over. We'll try and build your bankroll with the CFL. By the time hockey season is here, we're ready to keep cashing tickets.
All right, Andrew McInnis breaking down CFL. I'll be rooting for the Redblacks to get their first win, just probably not this week because that thing may have to go with some UFC parlays. I'm not gonna lie, they're tough, man. They're tough. So, all right, 5% UFC is up, 4% NFL preseason it up. Let's get the weekend started off right, but we have to finish the show with our NFL future, and we're going with a team total on the New York Jets. Tomorrow we're going to break down Bucky Irvin and his rushing total, but let's talk this Jets team out. 5.5 wins here. 3 wins last year. Stunning that they got to 3 wins. Their offensive line preseason is just hard to rank, but I'm finding an average about 20th, 21st with different websites that I trust. Aaron Glenn does return as the coach, so as bad as he was last year, a very Jetsy move would have been to go hire Aaron Glenn and then fire him after the first year. Yeah. And you're just I like that they're at least trying to be a little bit consistent. Geno Smith is now here at quarterback. This is the most stunning stat. Their leading receiver last year had 395 yards receiving. That was their leading receiver. The quarterback situation could not have been worse. The defense were 29th in yards and points per game allowed, 31st in sacks. I will say this. They drafted defense. They did pick up some free agents, and this is supposedly Aaron Glenn's strong suit. The fact is their defense just has a lot more talent this year. The Breece Hall injury isn't great. But I got to tell you, Dan, they got some winnable games. They're at Titans week 1, home Browns week 5, home Dolphins week 7, home Raiders week 8, at Dolphins week 12, at Cardinals week 15. I'm dancing between the over and under on this one. 3 wins better than last year, I don't think is that difficult because their defense has improved, and I think their quarterback, while Geno Smith is not a guy you ever want to trust, I think this number is about perfect. If you, I'm not betting it with my own money, but if you made me bet it, I think they improve, and I think they can get to 6 wins. I think 6-11 is doable for them. It's tough. It's tough, but they won 3 games, and it couldn't have been as worse as it couldn't have been any more worse.
No, it couldn't have been any worse. I guess I would love it if they offered a prop. How many games does it take the Jets to finally get an interception? Because you talked about how bad things were for them. They were the first team in NFL history to go an entire season without getting a single interception. So I'm kind of with you. At least they get Cam Ward right out of the gate. If you want to know my thoughts on the New York Jets, I'm honestly thinking about playing the Titans as my first week survivor pick, Andy.
Wow.
That's how bearish I am on this team. Like, let's just look at what they've done the past 10 years. 5 or fewer wins 7 times, 3 wins or fewer in 3 of the past 6 seasons, 7 last place and 3 third place finishes in the AFC East. And you talked about, they get to play, the Dolphins at home. They're 13-47 in division over the last 10 years. Those do not inspire confidence. However, Andy, like you said, they do get to play the Cardinals is like a road game. Is that tough? Cardinals, that should be about a pick'em game once that game rolls around. It's just 6 wins, dude. 6 wins should be attainable. I can't bet the over. I actually lean the other way, Andy. I'm not making it, a client play. I'm not betting it with my own money, but 5.5, I struggle to find 6 games that they can win on this. I see 3. I don't see 6, Andy. So I'm sorry to our man Jim, who was a long-suffering Jets fan. But I'm under for me, Andy.
You'll go under. I'll go head to head with you. I just like that they didn't do what the Jets normally do, which is fire their head coach and not make any changes. I think they really did a good job going after some defense. So listen, it's not a client play. Not a client play. I'm just saying I have a little faith that they're just going to be better. So that would be ballsy, man. Pick the Titans in week 1. Because
I'm almost like, do I just do it? Because you know what I mean? Like, I'm probably not going to do it in our $1,000 contest. I'm not that crazy. And in case you guys are wondering what we're talking about, we have the $1,000 entry that you can join Splash Sports. 21 million. I'm in it. Andy's in it. We got Steve Merrill. We got Kelly's in this one. I believe Joe Raineri. So a bunch of WagerTalk personalities have joined in to this survivor pool. I am not taking the Titans with my $1,000 entry. But if you use the code WagerTalk and you join us here in this Pro Football Survivor, 20 million guaranteed, then you can take $100 off and use it as another splash contest. But I am toying in one of my other survivors to go Titans.
All right, this is a true Jet statement. You have to remember they will win 1 game late in the season to screw their draft pick. That is true. Right. Very true. You could finish 2-0 to go from the number 3 pick to the number 16 pick for no reason whatsoever.
You're right.
Oh my God. Yes, they're on pace to get Manning, and then they win 3 straight. And And then
Aaron Glenn saves his job.
Or this is something we can build on for next season.
Yep.
Beating the backups of the Cardinals.
Feeling really good. And then what they beat, they eliminate the Vikings from the playoffs, and then they win against the Bills in week 18 because the Bills are resting all their starters.
It's
right there.
That's why I'm taking the over. That's why I'm taking the over. Right. So I am happy for Jim. He and his son RJ got to sit and watch their first Jets game preseason. He's getting them started early on being a Jets fan. So it's cool. It's good.
That's tough, though.
Teaching him how to get his heart broken early. Yeah. All right. Well, great show, guys. The chat was awesome today. Guests were awesome today. Big show tomorrow. We're going to get you ready for NFL preseason on Friday and for the weekend. Go over all the sports. Huge weekend of fights. We got BKFC on Friday. I'm finishing up my article this afternoon, and that video will be up on my channel. I'll go over that. We got a big PFL card. We got UFC. We got NFL preseason. So we got a monster weekend. Same time, same place tomorrow. We'll get you ready. Let's get NFL preseason week 2 started off with a bang. 4% best bet is up. Good luck on your bets tonight. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.